All right, hey everybody, thanks so much for tuning into Young Money Investments. My name's Cameron Benyon, and I just filmed a 30-minute video of this same exact video, and it was messed up. So you're gonna get the Reader's Digest version because I gotta go to bed, and I am so pumped for market open tomorrow. A lot of you probably that are like me that love to go long and love to swing trade have been getting crushed in the markets lately. We had a great day today. Feds are not gonna be raising interest rates in December. That is good news. The stock market loved it. Wall Street loved it. Let's get into how I am able to, though, if you've been following me on Instagram, how in this volatile downturning market, I'm still able to turn a profit on a daily basis now as opposed to waiting for some of these swing trades. Let me divulge some of my secrets to you. Those that have been watching my Instagram story have probably really wanted this video. So let's roll into it now. So for those of you that, like I said, have followed me on Instagram, you probably have seen that I've been trading a lot of ETFs. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Funds. This is usually a multitude of companies that are traded in one stock, or it is going to be a stock or a ticker that is traded based off of futures. We have futures, which is commodities such as oil, gas, natural gas, corn, barley, those kinds of things. All those things are actually traded globally, obviously, and there is a global price for those things. That is what a future is. Now, these ETFs are leveraged, meaning that they are usually 3 times the movement of what the stock actually, or not the stock, pardon me, what the actual commodity is being traded for. So there is a lot more volatility in that. And one of the ETFs that I've loved to trade recently is UGAZ and DGAZ, which goes off of natural gas. Now, natural gas, if you want to look at it, it's ticker symbol /NG. That is something that we're going to go over here on the charts, but I want to go over how I'm able to make money on a daily basis and my rules for trading these, especially for a lot of you new traders that maybe have never heard of an ETF, don't know how these are traded, don't know why they're so volatile, because some of you have gotten into these, and I know my friend, some of my friends have gotten really lucky and played these really great and made a whole bunch of money. Others have got into it and have lost their shorts. I have lost some money in some of these, and that's why I've created some of these rules. So let's jump into it, and I can explain a little bit more about what this is and how it works. All right, so moving over to the charts here, we are going to first talk about rule number 1 that we have for investing in ETFs. The first rule is know the futures and inverse of the ticker you're trading. So as we're talking about natural gas here, we need to know the ticker symbol for natural gas. Now, if we look up here, we are going to see ticker symbol /NG, which is the natural gas futures. So this right here is going to be the 180-day chart, I believe, for natural gas. Let's take a look. 180-day chart, correct. If we go all the way, I'm going to move this down a little bit here so I can see all of this, all the way down to the 3-year chart on natural gas. You'll notice that natural gas tends to trade in this area year after year after year after year, although back here in 2015, we had quite a low price of natural gas. But for the past few years, 1-2 years, it's been trading right here in this range. Now, as you can see, it does tend to peak out right here in the winter months, but this time it is way overextended. So it would be very plausible to see natural gas obviously come back down into this price range as it consolidates at this time of year. The big reason that it is doing this right now is because natural gas is oversold. So with there being a shortage of natural gas right now, and with the cold months that have recently just happened, natural gas prices have shot up. Now, if we're looking at the ticker symbols in order to profit off of this, you're going to look at 2 ticker symbols, that being UGAZ as well as DGAZ. Now, this obviously, because it is a ETF, the price of these ETFs continues to go down and down and down. And so that's why you would not really want to long hold one of these over, over a year, like years and years and years, in my opinion, because it's losing value every year because the company takes profit out of it. But if you look at this chart right here, this is the 180-day chart on natural gas. Now, this is the 3x, it's 3x leverage for natural gas. And as you can see, it's had a massive, massive push up as the shortage, there's been a shortage of natural gas and a big need for natural gas as weather temperatures here, especially in the Northern Hemisphere in the United States, have gone colder. The thing that I always remind people with natural gas is this obviously is going to be higher during the winter months, but the problem is this is so overbought that it is time for it to start trending down. But if you've been in this, you've been making a ton of money. So this is important to know. The other thing that's important to know then is the inverse of that, and that is going to be DGAZ. So DGAZ is going to be the ticker symbol. And as you can see, it has sold off, creating a downtrend pattern right here. It consolidated through here, although it came up here. It's been consolidating, continues to run, continues to run, continues to run, and then just dropped, continued to drop, continued. And right now it is sitting down here where it has touched support at $46 before. So currently right now, you can see where it is consolidating again. Now, there's one of two things that can happen. It can either find support here and start running up, or it could break support as it has done in the past time and time again. That is why I don't recommend holding it long term. Now, the way that I have been able to make money on this swing trade is by actually playing it, or sorry, not swing trade, is day trading this particular ETF on the upside and the downside throughout the day. So that is going to bring me to rule number 2. Rule number 2 with ETFs, or especially with the natural gas ETF that I have been trading quite a bit lately, is you do not want to hold these overnight. That is almost a cardinal sin because it's basically gambling. You don't know whether it's going to go up or whether it's going to go down at night. I don't know if it's going to go up or down at night. I can only read the technicals and see what's going on intraday. The thing that really ties my hands behind my back is at night, I can't trade it. If it starts to sell off, I can't get out of my position and cut losses. So that is what makes it very difficult. And especially if you're going to be buying into DGAZ, where it has been downtrending, you're taking a riskier position essentially, because it has continued to show a downtrend pattern. It's not showing an uptrend pattern right now. It's showing that it is just going down, 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 down. So with that being said, that is why I want to talk about not holding it overnight. If you're going to trade these, you need to have a lot of caution with them because they move 10, 15, 20% in a day, sometimes 25% in a day. I've seen it move as much as 50%, 60% in a day. And that's during the hours of trading. So you need to be very careful in terms of how you play these, because you can either make a lot of money or most likely you can lose a lot of money as well with that. All right, so as you can see right here, if you just type in Google and you do natural gas report time, you're gonna see right here that it says changes in these natural gas inventories on a weekly basis primarily reflect the net withdrawals or injections. The report is generally reported every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's usually about an hour after market opens. That's usually about, I think Mountain Standard is gonna be 2 hours behind that, so about 8:30 Mountain Standard Time is when this report comes out. This report has a large effect on the natural gas prices. The reason it has a large effect on them is because of the fact that what happens is this tells people how much of that natural gas is in stores, and then it plays the role in the supply and demand for natural gas. So that is something you need to be very cautious about, and again, why I don't usually recommend holding through that natural gas report, because if you're not there paying very close attention, it can either affect you negatively or obviously positively. But we're not in the stock market to gamble. That's my biggest thing, is we are not doing this to gamble. We're doing this to strategically make money and be consistent, profitable traders, right? Now, going into my fourth and final step on how to evaluate these ETFs, that is going to be technical analysis. It's going to come down to things such as the EMA, SMA, it's going to come down to support and resistance lines, and it's also going to come down to the RSI, or relative strength index, on the charts here. So we're going to move over and take a look at the charts, and I'm going to explain to you how I use those tools in order to better evaluate and take a guess on what, or not guess, how I take a position in a specific ETF, whether that be UGAZ or DGAZ. All right, so right here we have UGAZ pulled up one more time. Looking here at the charts, you're going to be able to see that the stock has obviously gone up. Right here, we're gonna have our SMA line. Turquoise line is going to be the EMA. You cannot see the VWAP, which is gonna be right in here because VWAP is for more intraday trades. But here I created a little bit of a shoot or kind of a channel pattern based on previous lows and highs and basing it off of the low down here and kind of creating this little channel pattern. Now, as you can see, it pretty much does tend to stay in here. Yes, it's had peaks well above, and not gonna lie, I mean, those peaks are massive. Those peaks are probably, yeah, 8 to 9%. I mean, 9% is a large return. But the reality is this is the range where it should be trading in. As you can see, to me, these patterns, to me, why it indicates that DGAZ is going to be more of a buy right now is the fact that it's creating lower highs. Every single high is becoming lower. That also means, and as you can see here, it's creating these lows, which tends to trend in this channel. Obviously, because it's the winter, natural gas is not going to have this massive sell-off. We don't have enough natural gas that it's just going to tank right now. But it does mean that with it being so high, this shows a kind of overbought pattern, meaning that the oversold return or inverse of this would be DGAZ, meaning that it would be a potential good buy. Other thing I'm looking at right down here is the relative strength index, or RSI. As you can see, there's been a consistent pattern of peaks happening right here. It peaked out and dropped. Again, peaked out right here. Yeah, it peaked out a little bit more and then came up and dropped back down. Again, but you hold the cursor right here. Again, it peaked out a little bit, dropped back down, peaked out, dropped back down. This is where it tends to peak out, is through this range. And if you come back over here, RSI indicates that it is peaking out at that position. It's done it once here, it's done it once here. You know, with our massive candle, you know, the RSI was all the way up here at a 93. To me, that is insane. And that's why it was an easy play to buy into DGAZ when the RSI was at a 93. But again, the past is the past, right? But what that does though is it brings me over to, we're gonna look at /NG, take a look at the patterns right there. You're gonna also see again, this line of resistance right through here where the charts are showing that it's overbought. Again, you're gonna see it, RSI down here at a 60, not bad. You know, I would love to see it up here towards a 66, 70. That is really an overbought position for the RSI. But as you can see, if we zoom in a little bit more, if you go up here, the RSI was roughly on this candle not too terribly long ago, up at a 60, I wanna say, 66. So RSI was very high on this natural gas report. This is going to bring me to the third and final chart in this position, DGAZ. And that is going to be the support that has happened down here in the consolidation previously at $46. If you look here, you can see where it is kind of consolidating down here, right here at 46, came back up, hit the exponential moving average, came back down, touched, came back up, rode above the EMA. It's been riding above, and then we had a massive sell-off today, which has brought it down close to $46 again at support. So what that means in terms of the chart and everything like that, as well as the fact that the RSI is down here at about a 35, which is a good buying place. To me, that's again a good relative strength index that indicates a good buy. Obviously, it's always better to buy somewhere down in this area where you're sold off into the 20s. You know, down here where, gosh, you're at a 9 RSI. I mean, that's crazy. That's so low. Great buy opportunities. You know, this doesn't necessarily say that it's just a steal of a deal, but with the natural gas report coming out tomorrow, that is going to drastically affect these stocks. And that's why, these stocks, these ETFs. And that's why, to me, this looks like a great pattern and a great play. As always, though, don't buy into this simply because I'm saying that's what's going to happen. For all we know, this support could crack as it has done previously every single time. We had support here, it cracked. We had support through here, it cracked. We had support right through here as it came up and it held. But through here, you had support through here, it cracked. So it's cracked once, it's cracked twice, it's cracked 3 times, it's cracked 4 times. It's cracking a lot. It keeps downtrending and it has a negative pattern. So it's very possible that it could continue to do that. But like I said, that's why you need to day trade this if you are getting into it, as opposed to actually trying to swing trade this particular position, because it's just so volatile. It's very difficult to predict over a long span, like a week's time period, if you're trying to swing trade that. I don't recommend getting into this. That's the thing. If you're my style of investor, if you're a long or swing trader, this is not necessarily something that I recommend new investors getting into, because it is very risky with it being leveraged and things of that nature. But because I post so much on my story about trading these ETFs, I felt it was my responsibility to tell everyone, hey, this is how you do it. And these are the things that are going through my mind in order for me to be profitable on this. And I've had unprofitable days on DGAZ because I bought the dip thinking it was going to reverse and it didn't. That has happened several times to me. Luckily, I've been able to get better at just day trading it, and it has made me money. But I promise you, you have to be careful with this. Like I said, just remember those rules. Don't trade it overnight. That's not a great idea. Know the futures, understand the inverses of the ticker symbol, know when the report comes out, which we know it's coming out tomorrow on Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's everything. Thanks so much for tuning into Young Money Investments. I'm so glad I got to film one more video for y'all. I'm going to try and get more of these busted out, although I am focused so much on this course. And I am so excited. This course is going to be probably the most information and the best step-by-step guide out of any course on the market. That is literally my goal, is to create a course with so much value that it's impossible not to buy this course. We spend so much money on school textbooks. I mean, we'll spend $300 on a textbook at school. We'll spend $400 on a class that's maybe a 2-credit class kind of thing. This course is going to be monumental, and it could change a lot of people's lives. So I'm so pumped about it. I'm so stoked. I'm so happy. And I'm going to hopefully try to post some live videos of what I'm doing tomorrow in the morning, because I did get some positive feedback on doing something like that. In the future, after the course is released, I will have a private stock market membership group as well. But that's, with time. So thanks so much for tuning into Young Money Investments. I am Cameron Benyon, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.